Have you ever thought about transferring your IRA or 401k to a whole life insurance policy? Is it possible? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Today, we'll talk about two popular strategies that involve moving money from an IRA or a 401k to a whole life insurance policy, and we'll talk about how they benefit you both today and also long term. So overall, transferring money from an IRA or 401k, which is a qualified retirement account, to a whole life insurance policy allows you to move your money from a taxable account to a tax-free account now, or tax-free asset now, and then also pass money tax-free to the next generation. This is typically why people do it, because they're able to move money from a taxable asset to a tax-free asset. So the two strategies here, two popular strategies, I should say, in terms of moving money from an IRA or 401k to a life insurance policy are as follows. First, we can distribute money from the IRA every year. Every time we take a distribution, we must account for the taxes. But how this works is as we distribute money from the IRA account, what we're doing is taking that money, or after we pay taxes, whatever's left over, we're taking that dollar amount and then moving it into a whole life insurance policy. That builds cash value, which I can access. I also have the tax advantages, and it also gets me a large death benefit immediately, which is going to be paid income tax-free to my beneficiaries. So what I can do is take my taxable asset or tax-deferred asset and move it to a tax-free asset in order to have access to money tax-free now and also pass it tax-free to the next generation. That's option one. I'll show you that in a moment, but let's hit on option two first. What we can do here, if you don't want to take the manual distributions, is you can transfer your IRA to an annuity. That annuity will then begin to provide payments. Now, we want to account for taxes here. How it works is when you transfer the IRA to an annuity, there's no taxation on the transfer. But when the annuity begins to provide income, when you flip the income switch on, you will have to pay ordinary income tax on the amount that is distributed from that annuity every year. Because it came from an IRA and no taxes have been paid on that IRA yet, we're going to have to deal with the taxes when we eventually get the money. But what people do here, so again, they transfer an IRA to an annuity. The annuity produces income. They then use that income to fund a whole life insurance policy, which builds cash value and also a life insurance benefit. Let's take a look at these two options. What we've got is an actual case study of someone we're working with right now. I'm going to go over the two options we showed him. So he's 65 years old. He's got about 600 grand in an IRA, and he'd like to move that into a life insurance policy. So what we'll look at first is option one, which involves him keeping the money in his IRA and manually taking distributions every year and moving them into the policy. So what we've got here is as follows. He's got about 600 grand. The interest rate that he's comfortable assuming is 5% per year. So what this means when we look at it, on the left, you've got your $600,000 IRA balance. You're earning 5% per year. We can easily adjust that. This is just a hypothetical assumption here with percentages and numbers, like that's all it is. But we're assuming as you take money from your IRA, you're still earning 5% every year. So if we move $600,000 out of a 0% bank account over 4 years, that's what he's looking to do, that would be $150,000 per year. 150 times 4 equals 600 grand. However, if you're earning interest on that, that's going to allow you to distribute more than 150K per year. Make sense? Okay. So at 5%, what he's able to do is distribute about $170,000 per year for 4 years. The fourth year is 165. He could take a little bit more than that out, but he doesn't have much left in the IRA at the end of this distribution phase. Now, if this is you, you take $170,000 from your IRA, do you get all of that money? You don't, because you have to account for the taxes. So we would work with his CPA here, and we can easily adjust this tax rate. Here, we've got it at 25%. If it's 25%, that would mean if he gets 170, $42,500 has to go to the IRS, and that leaves him with a net dollar amount of $127,500. In his particular case, he's heavily invested in real estate for a long time, and he mentioned that he can capture a lot of depreciation over the next couple of years, which can help him offset some of these taxes, which is nice. Everyone's situation is unique. However, we do need to account for this, because that's a big chunk of that distribution going out the door. So that's the net distribution. And then what we would do is this. So then we take that $127,500 and we move it into a policy. We round it down to keep it simple. $125,000 per year going in. Over 4 years, that's $500,000 that he's moved into a policy. So he starts with 6, it earns some interest, but a lot goes out the door to taxes, and he ends up getting in a total of $500,000 to his new whole life insurance policy over a 4-year period. All right, cool. So by the 4th year, he's got $494. Year 5, he pays 0, and the cash value appreciates to about $508. The initial death benefit is $1.3 million and change. However, after the 7th year, we reduced that death benefit. That's the earliest we can reduce it without triggering what is called a modified endowment contract or a taxable event. It just lowers the expenses and allows the cash value to grow at a faster pace because he is interested in using the cash value while he is alive, and he looks at the death benefit and says, that's higher than $600,000, and it's also past income tax-free. So I'm able to move my money into a safe place, cash value life insurance. I can also access it tax-free, and I leave more money income tax-free. The drawback is, as I move it over, it hurts because a lot of money goes out the door to taxes, and I take an initial loss on my money. It takes some time to overcome that. But once it gets cooking, it looks real good. That's option 1. Let's look at option 2, which is setting things on autopilot, and we've got some options here too. So with this, we're going to look to transfer the funds into an annuity. What we're going to do here is as follows. $600K transfer that immediately produces income of $45,000 per year for the rest of his life, so forever. Now notice the red box goes through age 72. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Could be shorter, could be longer. Here's what we're doing with this. We're moving that $45,000 per year to a new life insurance policy. Now with that said, we do have to account for the taxes here. Another $45,000 or $44,700 per year will be added to his taxable income each year. Keep it simple. We've got $45,000 per year for 8 years, which is a total of $360,000 that is moved into his new whole life insurance policy. After that, he stops funding the policy, but the annuity is still producing $45,000 per year, which is income he can live on. He could keep putting into the policy, but if he wants to supplement his income and enjoy it during retirement, he also has the option to do that. The thing is, he receives the money from the insurance company via the annuity payments, and then he decides to put it into the policy or take income. And he can put a different amount into the policy as well if he wants. As we look at the policy, here we go. Break-even point, very close to year 5. By the 8th year, he's put in $360, he has $386. The death benefit, What do you notice about this strategy? We set it at $600,000. What we're doing here is ensuring the $600,000 IRA with a $600,000 life insurance policy. So that is paid income tax-free when he passes. Now, one thing I like to look at in these case studies is what's the total value to me while I am living and after I pass. So total value while living. The annuity income tallies up all of the payments he received from the annuity. So you've got $44,700 per year, and this just adds them together. If you look at age 85, if he makes it that long, the annuity would have produced just about $940,000 in total payments. 44,700 times 21 is 938,700. Of that 938,700, he put $360 into life insurance. By age 85, the $360 he's paid in has grown to just about $600,000. So if we add the total payments he received plus his total cash value, the total value by age 85 is just over $1.5 million. What about after he passes? What if he passes at age 85? Well, what you would do then is look at the death benefit instead of the cash value. So what we've got here, by age 85, total payments from the annuity, $938,700. Death benefit, just about $700,000. So the total value is more than $1.6 million that he used the $600,000 IRA to generate. The other nice thing about this is that it is all hands off. It's very, very easy. The annuity does provide an income stream that is guaranteed. You'll see from the insurance company, they do state that it is guaranteed, which is really nice. So those are the two options. They are different. Typically, what I see is someone who doesn't like annuities or wants to be able to use their money today for real estate, business, whatever it might be more attracted to option one, or they like the idea of that larger death benefit. Whereas option two tends to attract people who are more hands-off and they just want the assurance that their money will continue to produce income, and they can also use some of that income to set up a cash value life insurance policy, which generates a positive return, meaning more cash value, more money in cash value than what they paid into the product, and also a death benefit that is paid income tax-free, which we usually aim to ensure the amount that they are using to fund the policy. So now they can spend their money and also pass on their money to the next generation. Hope you enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun with this particular case study. Would love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to leave any comments or questions below. If you'd like to reach out, feel free to visit our website, ibcglobalinc.com. You can also DM me on LinkedIn or any of our social platforms. And as always, I hope this helps.